people, back in the garage again today. Well, this evening actually. It's well, it's been a really hot day, about 32 degrees today. So it's probably about 20, 28, 29. But in the garage it is slightly cooler, so I thought I'd come out in the garage and do a little bit more to the Hornet. So we've got this. There we go. We've got a sheet of metal with lots of scribbles on that are all completely wrong because I've done it wrong twice. Well, I didn't do it wrong actually. But if we can see this, can I? There we go. Look. Where's my finger? Where am I going? There we go. So we've got this scribe line here. This is the line I want to cut out of my multiply marked sheet of metal. And what we're cutting out is one of them, look. And this will become the other side of the undertray for the underside of the bike. So that, there we go. That's what we're going to cut out. Right, let me just duck down a minute. This is our cutting machine. It's not a machine. Well, it kind of is a machine, but it's a manual machine. This is a mega bit of kit. You just whack whatever you want to cut in the end there. Flip that over. Chop through it. Chops through like butter. So we're going to cut this out. What we're going to do is get it close, quite close with this, and then I'll go around it with some tin slips and neaten it up. So we'll get to it. Right, there we go, look. We've got that cut out. When I say cut out, it's roughly cut. That little tool there is mega for, you know, cutting tin, but it's not fantastic at going round corners. It cuts straight lines quite nicely, or just slight curves, but you know, anything too curved and it's not that good. But yeah, it's done what we need to do. Now I will get the snips, tin snips, and we'll just cut around the edge and neaten it up. So that'll be the next stage. So again, I'll probably put you on time lapse for that little bit, and we'll see what we end up with. Right, there we go, look. So we cut that out, which is pretty neat, pretty close to the, well, it's pretty spot on to the scriber mark. Now what we'll do is I'm just going to whack it back in the vise now and just squash. See where we've gone around that tight curve, look. See that round there? As we've come around there with the snips, we've just put a slight radius to it, a slight curve in there. So I'll whack it in the vise, squish it up, give it a little tap with the hammer, we'll get it straight, and then we can get to the fun bit, which is kind of shaping it around to make the other side of the under tray. So that will be proper mega. We'll do that. Stick in the vise and bend it around afterwards. Right then, all I'm going to do is literally stick it in the vise and just try and straighten this out a little bit before we start messing around with it too much. Move all my junk out the way. It doesn't need a lot. Yeah, look. Seeing that? straightening that already. No problems. This is really thin tin, but you've got to remember that all this is for is to make a, you know, essentially make the master part as such, and then we're just going to take a mould off this. So essentially all this metal work, once it's done, it's yeah, it won't be needed. We'll just mould it. What I'm probably going to do is skin over the outside of it, like how we done the front mudguard, if you can remember that one. I'll just skin over this, and that saves us having to make a mould from this part. So yeah, that's good enough. I'll give it a few taps with a hammer. Where's my hammer? There we go. Come with me, bugger. Right. Just give it a couple of taps. Tap, tap, tap. I have got some nice panel hammers actually, but they're at work, so we'll just make do with a claw hammer. Does the same thing. Bit of weight behind it. There we go. Just go around here. Yeah, nothing too heavy, just light little taps. We've still got a wiggle here actually. It's not too bad. I think we can work with that. Yeah. Yeah, that's ready now. Right then, all I'm going to do here is just start and put a little curve into it by just basically rolling it over the bench. Just pulling it and just rolling it and give it a little bit of shape, you see. We've got no rollers or anything. This is still a garage build at the minute, so to speak. So just put a little bit of shape in it, just by rolling it over the bench. Look. There we go. There we go, look. Not a bad curve already. The hardest thing is actually getting the two sides the same. That's the biggest problem. So we'll just do that. So we've got a bit of shape in that now, and we'll stick it up onto the bike now and see where we need to go. The rest I'll just do by hand now with my knee. We've got kind of got a little flat spot through there, but we can just manipulate that. Look, like I say, this tin is proper thin, so there's no weight in it at all. So we can just manipulate that now. Yeah, we've got a bit of a flat in there. Look, can we see that? Don't know if you can. That's all right. We'll get that sorted. No problem. We'll go over to the bike now and see what we can do. All right, here we go. I'm going to do the best I can without getting in the way too much. So sorry, but my big head is going to block the view. But now, all we want to do, I say all we want to do, it sounds really simple, but it's not that simple. But all we want to do is get this here fitting up to this curve here, and having the same angle as the other side. You guys can't see the other side, but I don't know if you can see there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Whether you can see, I don't think you can. There is a blue line, marker pen line there. That is where this will be cut to finally. So at the minute I've got a chunk of the old frame in the way still. But luckily that is just pretty much just spot on that I can rest this piece onto it, and it's actually the right height. So although it's in the way, we'll have to make use of it because I've got nothing to cut it off with. So yeah, so it's a case now of manipulating this into shape so that it kind of holds its shape where we want it, but without having any spring when we sort of take it out. Not when we take it out, sorry. When we try and fit it in, we just want it to fit in nicely without having to give it any pressure to get it to the shape that we want. So we've still got a fair bit of squibbing to do there. Let me see if I can move you guys. Excuse me. Maybe we'll move the exhaust. Maybe we can see slightly better there, can we? Sorry for the googly eyes in the way. Gonna have to put up with that. There we go, look. So we've got a big gap there, and we'll just continue to just manipulate the metal until that's kind of taken the shape. Just little bits at a time. That's all we need. But if we put too much in, we can take it out again. That's not a problem either. But we need a fair bit in there. Actually, that needs sticking there. Let's stick that like that. Hold that in place. This is starting to look mega, I've got to say. I was unsure what to do at the back or underneath as such, because I still want it to look not old, but you know, what you'd kind of associate as a sort of a calf racer. There you are, we're getting there, look. I want a bit of shape in there. Yeah, sorry, I was unsure what to do, so the problem I was having was because the front end of the bike is quite a big mass, big blob as such. So we've got the airbox here, so we've got no visible gaps through the engine and the frame. The main thing was to hide this backbone as such of the frame. It's not a very nice looking frame, to be fair. It's just a horrible square lump of bent metal. So the main aim was to kind of cover this this frame, but also just with this seat unit on, the seat, because the tank's quite bulbous now and the engine's quite big and you know a reasonably big lump. This seat was just not quite cutting it for me, so I wanted some depth below it, so that we could kind of balance the front, you know, balance the front end of the bike. Don't think you can see. I'm trying to do this one-handed, but yeah. No, you can't see. Sorry. Yeah, just to balance it all. So with this going on underneath the seat unit, it's just kind of bringing it's bringing a balance to the back end of the bike, which you know, now it's kind of happening. It just looks mega. I love it. Now I'm starting to work out how this is going. It's yeah, it's really quite a nice thing to build now. Whereas as the start, I couldn't, it wasn't playing. I just couldn't, I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do, so. But we are finally getting there now. So we're not a million miles off from this, actually. Straighten it out a bit there. I mean, you're only going to get it so close like this, but the closer we can get it, the nicer it will be. Little tweak there. Yeah, that's pretty good. We've got some discrepancies in the cutting, not in the cutting as such, but obviously it's not a lot. You're talking a couple of mil. That's fine. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, let's tuck that under there. There we go, that's somewhere near. I'll probably just neaten that up off camera because I don't want you all dying of complete boredom just yet, because we've still got a lot to do on this old beast. But yeah, I'm going to hold it there and yeah, see if I can get a shot. Just bear with me, 2 ticks. Okay, so I'm back. That wasn't 2 ticks, that was about 15 minutes. But look, we've got the basic idea, yeah? So we've got some little gap in around there, and this isn't in right, but this bit of frame's in the way really, but we're 90% there with that. So I will just finish fettling that up. And also what I have to do is, if we go to the back under there, I have a line coming up here, so I need to trim both pieces, both sides, so that they meet down the middle, which is going to be fun. So I've got to trim them, and then this will sit in there nicer. So it's just still fighting me a little bit, but once we've trimmed that down, we should be all right. So yeah, so we've got this opening here. Whether it will stay open or not, or whether we have a light there, or I was kind of thinking exhaust. That was actually kind of one of my plans, to have the exhaust coming out of the seat, but I'm going to struggle for space under here, so I'm not sure whether I can do that anymore. So it might just be a conventional kind of exhaust coming out of the side there. But yeah, it's starting to look like a right cracker. Look, I really like that. It's a bit different. You know, it looks quite cool from the back. Actually looks wobbly on camera, but it's not. The seat looks a bit on the wonk, but it's perfectly straight. There we go, that's better. That's me holding the phone wrong. Yeah, and then this side, I'm just playing around, because it's quite a thin seat unit. I'm just kind of playing around with the good old tape and card to try and get some shape into it. Try and get some shape coming out to the tank, and then maybe we'll just flare it out slightly towards the back, so that we've, because we've got a reasonably fat tyre in there, we've got a 180 rear tyre, so I did want to widen the rear somehow, so something like that might kind of work. You can't really pick it up with the camera. It just looks like a complete mess, but you guys probably know where I'm trying to go with it. Maybe that's a better shot. Anyway, that's a long way off. I need to sort this side first. But anyway, yeah, really pleased with that. That's sausage finger. Sorry, that's come on really well, and we're looking quite mean from the back. I think that's going to look proper good. So yeah, pleased with that. I'll get that side tacked up, and then I need to cut down the middle, cut down there, which will be fun. But yeah, another step forward, really good. Right, there we are. We've done a little bit more. It's getting quite warm in here now. It's still really nice outside. So it's, what is it, 8:30? I'm going to go out there, sit in the garden with a nice cold drink. Nothing exciting, just a nice refreshing glass of water, sadly. It's a school night. Yeah, we've done a little bit more. And yeah, the bike is just evolving really nicely. Really pleased with it. So yeah, thanks for popping in, so to speak. And see you next time, guys.